All right. So today we're out here putting on a roof. As you can see, we've already got our underlayment down. We've got our drip edge up underneath down here, and then on the side we done a drip edge as well, but we overlapped it. So let's peel. Let's go ahead and peel our starter strip. Now, this isn't your average starter strip. What I use is an ice and water barrier. It's down there on the ground, and it comes 3 feet wide, so you can cut your own strips as wide as you need. And I like that idea. It's very windy out here today, and I don't like that idea. Stuff here's a pain in the butt, especially when you're working by yourself, you know. Got the wind going. Alright, so that should be more than plenty. We'll go ahead and cut that right there. Okay, bring this up. Let's go ahead and blow it off first. Take care of our trash, so we're not tripping all over our trash or have it blowing all around the yard. Alright. Very windy today. Alright, we'll just stuff it here in the old tool belt. Alright. I didn't bring the blower with me, did I? No. Okay, well, we'll just do a little bit of that. Alright. Clean enough. Now, take our starter strip, and you want to put your sticky side at the bottom. So that way your shingles adhere to it. Once it heats up, it turns gummy and tacky. You'll line it right up with the edge of your drip edge, just like that, right with the edge. And we're going to come up under here, and we're going to underlap our existing up into here. So let's pull out our trusty blade. We want a good 4-inch underlap here, something like that. What we can without getting into the nails, because there are nails that are holding these down. We don't really want to tear those up too much other than what we have to. So here it looks like we're going to have to. So we'll take this one up and we'll lace into it. I'm going to go grab the hammer. So our first row is going to lace right into this. And we're not going back with a 3-tab shingle. All I have is an architectural shingle, but we should be able to lace this architectural shingle in. There we go. We should be able to lace this architectural shingle in with the 3-tab, your conventional 3-tab. Oop, wrong way. There we go. All right. That sticks right to it. All right. Try to keep our hammer and our blade with us. We'll go ahead and, well, we don't need to trim that up. Okay. Let's go ahead and hook up our air hose. Put on our gloves so that way we're not getting fiberglass splinters. I hate fiberglass splinters, especially in the quicks of your nails and in your nail beds. It's nothing more irritating at night than shards of fiberglass. All right, so now in order to lace in, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. We're just going to come right in here to this old one. All right, we're going to give ourselves about a 1-inch overhang or so. Whatever just appears to be straight with this old jalopy of a house here. That right there appears to be pretty straight. Okay. So here we flip it, pull out our knife, make sure we're lined up with the edge here. Get out the laser blade. Flip it around. And now we got our factory edge on factory edge. Factory and factory here, and our cut edge will be right here, lined up with our drip edge. And when we get out here at the end, I like to put 2 in. I call that nader nailing. Should hold up to any tornado around. We'll just go ahead and start over right here. Yep. Seems right there. Now it appears as though our new shingle, our reveal on our new shingle, is about 1 inch more than the reveal on our old shingle. So we're going to have to do some waste, I guess. I hate to do waste. So we're going to let it hang down about 1 inch there. Maybe we'll pop some chalk lines, make sure we've got it all straight. But on this old jalopy of a double wide up here, it'll suffice. We're not going to be too picky about it today. We're just going to keep rolling, making sure that we've got about a 6-inch overlap from our last seam, and that we're showing about 1 inch right there. All right. So now if you're wondering what the purpose of the starter strip does, when the water comes down here to this crack, it goes through that crack. So that starter strip stops it from going under that first row. All right. Go ahead and line this up right there to there. Man, I really hate putting a small piece out here on the end because they're really prone and susceptible to blowing off. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to cut it back here. Call me crazy. Well, yeah, I'm going to cut it back here. So that way we have got a nice chunk of shingle. Now be careful when you're cutting on your paper. You don't want to cut through it. I'll throw that away. Now this way we've got a nice chunk of shingle out here on the end to nail down, and not some little rinky-dink strip that can blow off. So same thing. I'm going to come right down here. We're going to flip it over. We're going to put our factory edge, line it up with your drip edge. Just like that. Make sure you're straight. Come right here and do your little laser line. Straight down. Just like that. Alright. There it is. Now flipped it over. You cut edges out here. factory edge is in here. We're well away from our other crack. Nail it down and put an extra one for the naders. Oh, tornado nailing. Now I come back down here. Let's go ahead and grab our nail buster, and we're going to tie in to this one here. So we need to remove that nail, and we need to remove that nail as well. Let's go ahead and pull this one on out. Alright, go ahead and remove that one there. Alright. Well, this one's not going to work because we're going to be too close for our 6-inch overlap. So we'll save that one, probably for out there on the end. Instead, we'll take a brand new one again, and we'll just underlap that one right there on that 3 tab. And same thing, don't forget, we got to come down about an inch. Most normal people would probably put some chalk lines across here, but we not. And you always want to keep your nails away from your next seam. So make sure your nail is always covered up and not in the seam. You know, it's pretty straightforward doing a roof. You just gotta pretend to be the water. Follow the water. Be the water. Make sure you can't get in anywhere if you were the water. Same thing, we're gonna come on out here now. We'll set it down just like it would go, and then we're gonna flip it over. Line it up, and then laser line it. Just like that. So now, flip it back over. Got about an inch right there. Okay, nice and pretty straight out there. And one extra for the nader nailers. Alright. Come back out here. Now what can we do out here? We got a piece. Let's see, we got this piece here. We salvaged it. Alright, so our next one, this one's coming off. Alright, line it up, same spot. Give it about an inch or so. 3/4 of an inch, an inch. About time for nails, I think. Nah, we still got some in there. Alright. So now we're just going to start rolling with it. You're just going to have to keep up. You know, it really helps if you keep your tools on you. You spend less time looking for your tools, walking away, reaching for your tools. But if you got them on you, it saves so much time, and that's probably the difference between a professional and a weekend warrior or a jackleg or whatever you'd like to call them. Anything. Alright, we're not going to need that one. We'll start back over here. We know that this next one here has got to come up. So we're going to come right in here. We're going to pull it on up. Now we're going to be really careful not to tear these old shingles. Now today's a pretty good day to be out here doing this because the shingles are soft. Now if it was any colder out here, I would say today is not a good day to do this because the shingles are going to be brittle. Especially when you're working with older shingles. The shingles are brittle when it's cold outside. So I suggest if you're ever going to tie into an old roof that already has brittle shingles, then do it on a warm day where they're more supple and pliable. Alright. Tie right into it. Tie right into it, about an inch. Make sure it looks straight. Now, how I've been doing it is pretty simple. You got a little white line here. I've been kind of just putting it just below the black line. In this particular case, it's what I'm doing. But usually, in a normal case, you would want to line up the bottom of your shingle with that architectural design right there to give 2 layers. And you just line those up all the way across, and that's how you would nail normally. But in this particular case, because our old reveal is about an inch shorter, we're dropping it down about an inch. So I'm dropping this down about an inch from that architectural design and the line. All right. Now we're about at my favorite part in doing a roof, and that's to where we get on the other side of the shingles and we work facing uphill, because when you're facing downhill, it's back-breaking work. Well, even facing uphill is back-breaking work, don't get me wrong. Roofing is a hard job, especially in the elements, in the sun. It is not easier for the faint of heart. If you're scared of heights, not good on ladders, especially trying to carry weight up ladders, a bundle of shingles weighs 80 pounds, some 90 pounds, depends on which kind you get. Putting that on your shoulder and going up a ladder, especially when you're going up 2 stories sometimes, you've got to be in fit, you've got to be in shape, you've got to be mentally and physically sound. As a matter of fact, you've got to be that way for just about anything in construction until the robots come along and take over for us. We've got to be the ones to physically get up here and physically do the labor. Now, I sure am glad that I wore my gloves. Yep. Same thing. Flip it over. Line it up on your drip edge. Find the edge. And give it the old laser. Alright, so you're not really trying to cut through it on the first go around. You're just scoring. You're scoring the surface of it, making it easier. So when you're cutting a shingle, a lot of times it's just the scoring of the surface. Alright, I'll start back over here. Let's see what we got to do here. Alright, so all my videos, because I'm no good at oh, we were supposed to take that one off, weren't we? Oh, darn it. Okay, so there's only one way to fix that. Okay, so we've got our seam lined up with our seam there. We don't want that. Okay, so this last one and our next row cannot be that way. So we've got to take this one off, is what we're going to do. Pull it right on out. Okay. Now you don't want to bend your shingles backwards too far either, because it'll leave a crease there. Alright, so we'll take out the little culprit here. Now in order to fix this without pulling up this entire row, we're going to cut this back. Now we're going to cut this back to about midways away from any crack down below it. Now we're going to be careful not to cut through our paper, so we're just going to, once again, just going to score the surface of it. Just get through that grit and that gravel. Make it as straight as we can. Now I suggest that you use a square of some sort, because not everybody has a laser eye or a laser blade. Okay. Now we're going to take this scrap piece up here, and we're just going to fit it in right here. And it's just going to be right in place with the rest of them. Wait a minute. Okay. What's going on? Did I just do something stupid? Hell yeah, I did. Oh, that was the dumbest thing in the world. Okay. So yeah.